Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do our first set of alternatives. I'm so excited. For this June 2025 Paper Pumpkin kit called Full of Charm. So we get to go back to playing with some really pretty flowers. So these are the 9 cards that you could have made had you done them as intended, but as we do intended around here, we're going to do some alternatives. So let's get started. The first one, I'm not sure which one to start with. Let's start with this one. So I've got a card base of Pretty Peacock that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of white for the inside that's 5 by 4 1/4. And this came from an envelope from the kit. So, let's see if I can find one of the, here they are. I took the envelope here and I sliced down the side, sliced it open so that I could use this part of this envelope. So we're going to use the back side of the envelope tonight too. So this is the front side of it, and we're going to put that right here in the middle of our card base. And so let's go ahead and get that down, and then we'll build on this. Now again, since this is envelope paper, it's kind of thin, you got to be really careful with it because it will rip easily. So let's get this on here, right here. Whoops, now that's not straight. Let's try that again. That looks better. Okay, now on the front, this is a cutout piece that came in the kit. So we're going to use this kind of spray of flowers. And I've got some stuff here. So this came in the kit. And I cut a little piece that was just a little bit bigger for this diamond so we could back it. This is in Timid Tiger. We're going to stamp on this, and then we're going to put this right here in the middle of, well, we're not going to stamp. I lied. I changed my mind. Originally, I was going to stamp, but not anymore. We're just going to put this in the middle. And then out of the add-on dies that are for this quarter, the Circle of Season dies, okay, I took this hello, and I cut a hello out of Pretty Peacock, and we're going to put that right there in the middle. And we've got some other leafy bits here that came out of the Charming Day Stampin' Die set that coordinates with this paper pumpkin. So this has some just beautiful dies to it. This is still available. This is relatively new. And it's got this lovely spray of flowers here. I just love this. But I used this. No, not yet. We're using that on the next one. I just used the flower bit on this one to get our little flower sprays here. Okay, so we are going to stamp on the inside. So we're going to put hello on the outside, and we're going to put can't wait to see you again soon, which came out of the Charming Day stamp set. So let's go ahead and get that on our inside. We're going to use Pretty Peacock ink here. And our lovely rubber stamp that we have to be careful with. See, I've already got ink on the block. Just good thing. Ugh, ink everywhere. Okay, so let's just get this right down here in the middle. The sun is shining in through my window. Makes it a little tough to see. Okay, I don't like that. That's crooked. Let's try again. See if we can do better. It's the sun. I'm blaming it on the sun. Okay. Let me just see if I can get down here a little closer. Hopefully we'll be a little straighter. There we go. That's better. Okay, so let's get this on the inside of our card. And then we'll build on the outside. So let's get this down. Okay, now I think we're going to let's see. I want to pop some of this up. I'm trying to decide what. First I'm going to put this down, and then we'll decide what we're popping up. So a lot of the colors in this kit are, well, that's not straight, the in colors for this year. So this Timid Tiger is one of them. It's such a pretty shade of orange. Like, not peach pie orange and not pumpkin orange. It's kind of in between. Okay, so let's see. I think we're going to put this flowers flat, and we'll pop up our center there. So let's just get a little seal on this. And we're just going to decide which way I want it. I think this way. The flowers look better if we go this way. I think. Okay, now we'll pop this up on some dimensionals. Here they are. Okay. Get our backs off. Okay. See if I can get them in the garbage can and not on the floor. I'm sure my husband would appreciate that, since he vacuums the floor in my office once a week. He's always complaining about all the dimensional backs that are on the floor. Okay, so we'll get this down here in the middle, and then we'll put our hello right across, and then we'll tuck in our 2 flower bits here. So let's get some fine tip glue for this, and we'll just get this little dots. This fine tip glue, a little goes a long way, so it doesn't take a lot, but the tip makes it really nice to get on this intricate cut stuff so that you don't end up with glue everywhere. Okay, so we're going to put this right there across our piece, straight. And this fine tipped glue, you got to hold on to it for a second. It doesn't get tacky immediately like the Tombow glue does. So you got to give it just a second to take hold. Okay, now I think we're going to take our other 2 little sprays of leaves here and kind of put them, one up here and maybe one down here, and that fills in the rest of the white part on our card. So let's, I guess we can use our fine tip glue on these as well. Just a little bit on the bigger leaves. I'm not really too worried about the real little ones. They'll be fine. So we'll have that right like that. There. Straighten that out just a little bit. And then get this one. Okay. And we'll go right up in our top corner with this spray. Hang on to it for just a second. There we go. Okay. Now, last thing we need is some bling. So, I've got the 2025 to 2027 in color flat pearls. And this has all of the new in colors on it. So, we've got Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and Strawberry Splash. So we're going to use our Timid Tiger. So we'll start with a big one. Where should we go with it? Let's put it here. And then we'll do I guess we get 2 sizes. No, we get 3. There's medium and small. So that's good. I like that. I like when we get 3 sizes, not just 2. And then we'll put a little baby one down here. Okay, and there's our first card. So pretty. I just love this set. All right, next one. We put this to the side. So the next one, we're going to start with a base of Timid Tiger. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And looks like I forgot to cut a piece for the inside, so let me just do that right quick. So we'll do a 4 by 5 1/4 piece for the inside. Okay, so now we've got our inside piece. I usually check before I start filming. Okay, now we've got a piece of the envelope. So this was the other half of the envelope that I cut apart. And then I just cut in here and I cut the diamond out of the middle. So we're going to put this right here. So we'll go ahead and put that down. We're going to put it flat, and then we're going to cover up that part that I cut out, and you'll never know it's missing. So let's get this down centered the best we can. It's going to run the whole length of the card, top to bottom. Basically, there's a little itty bitty border, but definitely more border on the left and right than there is top to bottom. Now let's see. We need to move it up just a little bit. See if that looks better. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we've got this down. Now, next piece is going to come from our Charming Day set. So I took this flower die here and I cut out of Pretty Peacock. So we're going to put this down in the middle of our card. And then I've got a circle that came out of the add-ons. So I took this circle. Actually, that didn't come out of there. I lied. I just used some other circle die I had. I think an old one. I just wanted something. This came out of the kit. And then I cut one that was a little bigger out of just a circle die that I had out of the Timid Tiger. And then I'm going to stack all three of these up on top of each other. But before we do that, we're going to stamp on this itty bitty one. And I've got a stamp somewhere on a block. What did I do with it? Here it is. And it says, Miss You. And this came out of the stamp set in the kit. And we're going to see if we can make it fit on this tiny little dot. If not, we may have to, as they say, back up and punt. But we will try. And this isn't a stamp I've used before, so we need to do a test stamp before I try. So let me find a scratch piece of paper. Okay, this will do. Okay, so we're going to kind of squish this around. I forgot to do it on my hand. I'm just trying to get that manufacturer film off of it so that it gives us a nice clean stamp. Okay, it looks pretty good. Now, let's see if we can fit it on this little dot. I don't know if this is going to fit or not. But I only had one dot, so I didn't want to try it ahead of time. So, we're just going to try this live and see what happens. Oh, well that didn't work. Okay, try again. We'll flip it over. It's fine. I think it's going to fit. I just didn't press hard enough. Oh, you know what? That didn't work either. Okay, all right. We'll try something different. Let's try. Let's see if we can get it to work in this one. We don't need the little dot. We can use our Timid Tiger piece. I wonder why I'm not getting it to stamp. That is really weird. There we go. Okay, it was just the little piece. It's fine. It was an experiment and it failed. All right, on the inside, we're going to put Thanks for Being You. This came out of that Charming Day stamp set. So another red rubber one. And let's see if we can get a straight stamp here. So I'm not pushing very hard, and I'm trying not to rock the block. Okay, thanks for being you. Okay, let's put our ink away. Alright, so let's put this on our inside piece. We'll get this down. Okay, now let's see, we're going to put this piece in the middle. So I think we'll lay it flat, we'll pop up our circles. So let me get some just tape runner on this. We just hit the big spots, it'll be fine. We don't need to get all the little spots, they're not going anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to try to position this just so it kind of covers up this corner over here. If I can use the leaves to be strategic. Okay, so we've got that, and then we're going to, I cut some of these tiny bits out of another, well, I cut it out of this. So this is in That Charming Day, and then I just trimmed them down. But I cut them out of gold, so we're going to put those around after we get our little circle on here. So let's get it on and popped up. Okay. Let's see. Some dimensionals on here. Okay. So we're going to use this to cover up the place in the envelope where I cut it apart. So we're just strategically going to put this right like this. And so you can't see that, and you never know that it's actually cut. Okay, last ones. We're going to use our fine tip glue to put down our gold pieces. So just dot a little bit. Let's see where we want this. We're going to put one here. And then this one. Let's see, I think we'll stick this one down here. And maybe we'll go ahead now and get these other little leaves, just these ones at the bottom, so they don't catch when you go to put it in the envelope. Okay. And then we've got one more that I think we're going to put up here in this corner. And I'm going to just slip this end of it underneath one of these leaves. And there we have our card. Last thing is we're going to put a little bit of bling on it here. We're going to use some of these antique pearls on this one. Of course, the antique pearls never want to come with me. They want to stay around. Oops. Okay, not even sure where that one went. All right, let's try another one. There we go. All right, so we'll put one here. Another one there. And maybe a little one up here. All right, and there we have two very pretty cards. So there is our first set for the June kit. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified when I upload a video. And don't forget that the current Paper Pumpkin subscription period is still open until August the 10th, so you can get the next kit. There'll be a link in the description below if you would like to sign up and be part of my team. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. So have a crafty evening. Bye.